Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show and podcast. We are here on a big Tuesday night because we have a special edition that I'm super excited about. So we talked about last week about introducing to you all our brand new segment called King's Corner, and I'm super excited to be bringing to you tonight a wonderful, a fantastic, a phenomenal king that I know that you love. If you know him, you love him. If you don't know him, I know you're going to love him anyway. His name is Mr. Diego Cassina, and we're going to be talking to him tonight about prospecting, turning cold audiences into paying clients. Because let's be honest, if you're not making money, you're not really doing anything. You're probably struggling. You're probably frustrated, and you're probably at your wits' end and not really knowing what to do. So we are blessed tonight that we're going to be sharing our stage with Diego, and we're going to try to pick his brains a little bit for y'all to see if we can get him to drop y'all some nuggets and some hacks, okay? So you know what we do before every show. Go ahead and grab your favorite drink, grab your snack, get yourself comfortable, share, tag with your girlfriends, with your guy friends, because if you are a coach of any capacity, you do not want to miss this show tonight. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Let me read our introduction, and then we will play our intro, and then we will have none other than Mr. Diego join us on stage. So let me tell you a little bit about him. He is a business coach. He helps coaches and consultants sell high-ticket offers to completely cold prospects in 7 days or less, using a mix of social media strategies, human behavior, and deep psychology. He's a very brilliant man. He has been featured in Success Magazine and Life Hacker, among other publications. His social media videos have helped empower 7 million people and more in over 110 countries. He's a thought leader. He's a public speaker on the topic of human connection, emotional mastery, and social serendipity. He overcame childhood trauma and social anxiety by meeting thousands of strangers. And in doing so, he learned patterns of human behavior that he now uses to help people connect. But not only connect, but to connect on a deeper level. I love this. And he's the founder of Bumping Into Love. So the next voice that you hear will be Mr. Diego Cassina joining me on stage. So stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. I promise you, you don't want to miss this show. Tag, share. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show and podcast. We hope that by the end of our show, you're left feeling empowered, motivated, and connected. So come on in the room, grab your favorite drink, sit back, and enjoy the ride, because you're finally at home at Kiva's Place. Now give it up for our host and producer, Coach Kiva Lernice Murdoch.
Hello. We are back. So I'm going to bring to the stage my guest, and I'm super honored to have our first king in King's Corner. Yes, Mr. Diego Cassina. Come on in, Mr. King.
How are you? Kiva, oh my goodness. That was the best intro I think I've ever received. Wow. I got to go back and record it and just play it to myself every morning to give myself a little bit of juice.
Let me pump you up, King. Let me pump you up. I'm so happy to have you, Diego. Thank you so much for just joining us.
Yeah, Kiva, I'm so blessed to be here, honestly. It's the honor's all mine. Thank you so much. I really hope that I can provide enough value for your audience. I'm going to give you everything I got. And honestly, thank you. Thank you.
Not a problem. So I know that I just read your wonderful introduction. You have a lot going on. But for those who don't know you, just tell them a little bit more about yourself, and then we're going to dive right into exactly what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do quite a lot, but I've been focusing quite a lot these days in helping coaches, cold prospect, convert a completely cold individual into a high ticket client within 7 days or less. And so that's been my passion these days after having taught quite a few things, and it's kind of where my focus is for them and for entrepreneurs, but mostly for the coaches.
And that is something, Diego, that we know, especially being coaches, and you and I were just talking very briefly off camera, just how I don't want to use the word difficult in converting leads, but I think there is definitely a craft and a skill that needs to be learned in how to turn those cold leads into high paying clients, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So what have you found really that has been beneficial in your teaching other coaches to be able to do just that? Because what we find most of the time is that for many of us, we're posting and praying, right? We're posting content, we're posting videos, and we're praying that, you know, we get a hit, we get a lead, we get a referral or what have you. So I'm super excited to have you here because this is exactly your lane. So what have you pretty much found that has been beneficial in converting those?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what you're fundamentally discussing here is the difference between inbound marketing and outbound marketing. Inbound marketing is much more, you know, posting and praying, right? So you post some sort of content into the digital ecosystem and hope on the tail end of that there's enough, juice built up that a person wants to opt in, and then eventually you'll sell them, something that would be of benefit to them. And there's power to that. I've taught that for years. I've done that for years. But I like to do outbound marketing as well, something that I had to learn, quite honestly. And I also like something that's more of a hybrid. So what really worked for me is, and what could probably benefit anybody that's listening to this right now, is fundamentally, and it always comes down to this, but changing our mindset around how long it actually takes for an individual to want to invest in your services. You know, how long does it take for a sales call to actually happen? You know, and what is actually going down in that process? You know, the reality is that, you know, we've been taught and programmed, at least I had, that you got to warm up your audience for so long and eventually you'll be able to sell them. But the reality is, I mean, for instance, where are you trying to warm them up? Are you trying to warm them up based on an algorithm that isn't pushing your content in front of that audience? Are you trying to warm them up in your email sequence where you have maybe 10% of people reading it past the fourth email? The reality is that if we're just being honest with one another, where you believe that you're sending them to warm them up is where you're actually sending them to go cold. And what I've realized is that you can have an interaction up at the very front that at least gives them an opportunity to invest in themselves. And then on the tail end of that, you can warm them up if the sale doesn't happen. But at least you give them an opportunity to really dive in deep on some of the needs that are coming, that they have at that moment.
Mm-hmm. And I think you just made a very valid point, because we find ourselves going through that whole rat race of trying to touch them 11 to 12 times before they make a purchase or a sale or a conversion. And we tend to lose, like you said, we lose our clients because they literally go from a warm lead to a cold lead, trying to go through that whole spill, that whole process. And I know that you have built your entire business around connections. Connection is very, very important to you. So I want you to just, first of all, answer the question, is having a connection with other people, does that come easy for you? Because I think a lot of people look at you or myself and think that, hey, they must just a complete extrovert and don't have any issues meeting people or whatever. But I wanted to just allow you this opportunity of transparency. Does building this connection or interacting with people come easy to you?
Yeah, 100%. The easiest thing in the world. The reality is, no, it doesn't come easy to me at all. You know, I'm not going to navigate too far back in my history, but I really thought I was going to die alone. And so just the opportunity of having a conversation with the person that I might want to, go on a date with was daunting to me. It was literally like a life-altering moment. I felt like it would be easier for me to, sit in a coffin than to walk up to a person, to have a cold conversation with them. And so I had to overcome that. And by overcome, it doesn't mean that I'm not experiencing that these days. When I have a conversation with a person that I've never met before, I still have those fears. I still wonder if I'm going to trip over my words. And so I realized that the same way that we can initiate a conversation with a person in the real world is the same way that we can initiate a conversation with a potential prospect for our business. It's connection at the end of the day. And, even then I still have fears. I'm still an introverted individual. But I realized that, ultimately I have to decide what's really going to drive me. Is it going to be my programming, or is it going to be my power? Am I going to act like a king and be the king that I actually am? Or, am I going to let somebody else pull the wheels, which is, whoever told me long ago that you shouldn't talk to strangers. So it's something I have to work through.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I really wanted you to address that, because a lot of people from the outside looking in think this comes easy. And they also, some of them fall into this mindset of we have to be perfect in order for our processes to work. And when in all actuality, no, we don't have to be perfect. We just have to be in a position to want to put things into motion, put it into action, and to implement processes. So I really thank you for your transparency about that.
If it helps the audience, just hearing where I may have started, I always love when a person tells me that they feel uncomforted by making a video, let's say for social media, putting their face out there. And I usually smile at myself, because I think to myself, I know that this person has the potential to reach millions. And I know that specifically because I've reached millions with my videos. But where I first started was I would actually record myself onto my phone, and I would delete the video because I wouldn't want a friend or a loved one to come across my phone and go, what's this little motivational thing that you recorded? And so knowing where I came from, and when somebody else shares where they might be at, I kind of smile at myself, because I know that they have exactly what it takes.
Mm-hmm. And that was going to be my next question to you. If you wanted to share just a little bit of your backstory on how you actually how you gotten into the coaching realm, and a little bit of where you actually started from.
Yeah, I started, I had always, just a little brief snippet. My dad used to drive me to school, and we would listen to Les Brown tapes. For anybody that knows Les Brown, his laugh is infectious, and he's a motivational speaker. One of the most powerful ones, at least as I grew up. And so, I'd listen to him. We'd listen to Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, some of these guys. And so later on in life, I eventually went to a Tony Robbins seminar. Went to his UPW events, went to his Date with Destiny event, his flagship program. Went there, saw a suicide intervention. Sitting there in the audience, and I think to myself, that's what I want to do. And so I said, okay, but I don't have a following. I don't have a platform. Where do I begin? How do I even begin to put my voice out there? So I realized social media seems to be something that's taking off. So I said, well, why don't I just create a channel, right? And I thought to myself, I could just journal. That what I would put in my journal, let me just share some insights that I would want to hear later on in my life, just to kind of put them somewhere. And so I started making videos. Granted, I did go to a boot camp, and I did invest in myself. I think it's important to do that. But I did that, and then I started making some videos. I started really refining my message and reaching brand new audiences, put some marketing dollars behind it. And that's really where it started to take off. Eventually, I had a couple videos that went viral. I remember I went to a Date with Destiny event later on, or another one of his Tony Robbins events, UPW or one of them. I was sitting in the audience. He's got a stadium, and he's speaking, and I had this moment where, he's talking about gratitude. I think we so often we're moving forward, we're pressing along, and we forget exactly what we've accomplished. And so there's this gratitude exercise. I look around the stadium. The stadium holds about like 30,000, 40,000 people. And I thought to myself, oh my God, like I've actually, from the videos that I made, I've filled 66 of these stadiums. And so I rewound back, like, oh my, like I have once pointed my finger at Tony and said, I want to do what he does, and then finally being to the point where, I'd done something similar, but in a virtual realm. And then eventually seeing some of the content even be used by Tony Robbins trainers in their interventions. So there was like this kind of this weird circle where I was all of a sudden back to where I started, and in like a beautiful way saying, oh my gosh, And I think sometimes we got to take that step aside and realize how far we've come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I think it's amazing that you realize your calling and your purpose at such a young age. You were blessed. Yeah. Wonderful. Well, we have to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, I want to definitely be able to give our viewers some practical things that they can do right now, starting today, to start closing some of these cold prospects. So don't go anywhere, you guys. We are just getting started. And Mr. Diego, we're going to pick his brains for as long as we can have him. So we're going to see if we can get him to actually leave some nuggets with you guys. So tag your coaches, tag your friends. They should be on this call with Mr. Diego Cassina. So don't go anywhere. We're going to have our just quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. So stay tuned.
We are living in a digital age, and we think it's safe to say that all businesses are needing to transition from traditional brick and mortar to broadcast. Everything is really about data collection and building a community. EasyWay Broadcasting has created a social network/solution provider within the EasyWay network to help its members with this transition. Introducing the EasyWay Wall of Fame, a one-stop shop for business owners and influencers that help them to connect, grow, learn, and scale the easy way. Over the years, we have been building affiliates and partnerships in all genres. That means our platform utilizes all our members' businesses to provide services at a much lower cost, help sell their service and promote their awareness to more potential customers. Through our new media empire, we have a reach to millions. Become an affiliate. Make money doing it the easy way. Create your free account today by visiting easywaywalloffame.com. Accelerate your influence through direct access to the right influencers. We have many TV shows that our members can be interviewed by. We have our own magazine and radio station to promote our EasyWay Wall of Fame members' profiles, which they control. The more friends you get, the bigger your business will grow. Join the EasyWay Wall of Fame community for free today.
Hey everyone, this is Kiasha Hill, transformational life coach and author of 30 Days of Different Ways to Love Me. You're currently watching Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show and podcast. Please stay tuned, so much more to come.
And we are back with Mr. Diego Cassina. For those who are just joining us, we are speaking with a world-renowned business coach. He coaches coaches on how to convert cold audiences into paying clients. And we know as coaches and consultants, entrepreneurs, business owners, that's very important that you are able to have that skill in how to close deals. So before our break, we were going to ask Mr. Diego, our King's Corner, about dropping some hacks or some nuggets. So do you mind sharing with our viewers some things, some practical things that they can start doing right now to help move and propel their businesses forward?
Yeah, so let's start from the back and then I'll move up to the front. So one of the most important things that you can definitely have is to have an offer, and an offer that's been validated. What many people do is they create an offer from here rather than out there, and then they try to sell the audience what they believe the audience needs rather than what the audience truly wants, right? And so they come from a coaching perspective or a business perspective or a consulting perspective where they're trying to sell based on hours of time, when in the reality, what a person truly wants is results, and they have an investment and they want a return on that investment. And so what we really want to do is we want to put ourselves into the perspective or the shoes of our prospect and say, what are the challenges that they're going through? What is it that they want? So for instance, today I had we were pitching quite a big offer. This was a $300,000 offer, 26% equity stake in the business. This is for our marketing business that we have. Initially we were saying, okay, well, what is it that we're doing for this person? Let's say one of the things was paid media advertising. Well, that's what they need, but that's not the way our prospect thinks. The way they think is they want a pipeline full of highly qualified, leads. And so it's being able to convert the messaging in a way that they can understand. I think so often what we do is we speak from the expert's perspective rather than the prospect's perspective. And those are very different worlds. To merge those worlds, we have to enter theirs. That's the way that they feel seen, they feel heard, they feel understood. They don't go, I understand you. They go, they understand me. And so I think when we have that in place, then we're able to charge higher, we're able to deliver better, and then we can actually connect on a level that can be, it can be felt, it can be seen, it can be heard, it can be understood. So one thing I think is incredibly important is to actually validate the offer. Now, there's a lot of people that are talking about scaling up your business, going through paid media, doing paid advertising, doing webinars, doing funnels, doing all sorts of different things, and more power to it. But one of the most powerful ways to have a validated offer and to have an efficient one at that, is to have conversations with people and keep your ear open to listen. What are the challenges that this person is coming up with? When I think they need this, they share with me this other thing. So for instance, let's say as an example, to make things a little bit more tangible, I should say. Let's say a person is going to a toxic relationship. And you and I, we both go, this person needs some self-love. It's what we believe they need. And I can share this because I've been in toxic relationships, and I've also sold self-love products. But that's what we think they need. That's not the perspective they're in. And the perspective they're in is, I want this person in my life. I want them to treat me the same way I treat them. And so we have to package it in that way to say, this is the best shot you have at that to happen. And if it doesn't happen, you're going to be so much better off. And so that way we're packaging our services. The age-old adage, which is sell them what they want, give them what they need. And that can only happen. You can only make an efficient, scalable process when you really have those conversations. And that's why I love the cold messaging campaigns, the cold email marketing campaigns, the cold door-to-door campaigns, having the confidence to put yourself in front of the prospect. And even if you're not doing a sale now, it gives you so much intel so you can make a much more powerful sale down the road.
I love that. I love that a lot. And then I like the fact too that you were saying you sell them what they want, but you give them what they need. And just not coming from an expert's perspective. And I can, everybody that knows me knows I'm 100% transparent. For me, it was such a struggle to turn that hat off and learn to actually actively listen to what are my consumers telling me? Because to be honest, they will tell us, but it's up to us to listen, and not only that, comprehend and be able to convert that. So I love that.
Yeah, because especially, as we're talking to coaches, entrepreneurs, business owners, one thing is, if you find that your offer isn't necessarily selling, right? It could be a prospecting issue. Maybe you're talking to the wrong prospect. It could also be a sales issue. Maybe you have a difficult time converting, but it could also be your offer, right? And sometimes what people say is, it's okay. Well, I got to change my entire niche, right? Or maybe I got to define a niche that's so super niche down. Or they go, it's the way that I'm selling, and so then they go to webinar, or they go to some sort of launch sequence. They go to paid media. And they go to group coaching, they try all the memberships, and so they're like, I got to change the product delivery, or I got to change the way that I'm marketing. And a lot of times that's not really going to solve the issue if the offer isn't very well validated. But if you get in front of a prospect, you talk to them, you're actively listening, you listen to what's the things that they truly want, and you hear that quite repetitively, now you know that, okay, that's something I can scale. And then really, it doesn't matter how you're really delivering the product or how it is that you're marketing it. It's really, you could scale up from something that you already know is highly attuned, highly efficient, that it will cause your prospect to go, oh, that's for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that. Can you offer up another one? This is so good. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah. Another one is, we don't like salesy vibes. Let's just be real. At the same time, we're entrepreneurs, we're business owners, and we realize the importance of sales. We have to make sales in order to grow our business, to serve our clients, and to grow ourselves as well. And so what I came to realize is, it's to really redefine what business actually is. We've traversed so far from when we lived in these tribal societies, but the reality is we are still tribal societies. A stick is to fall off of a tree. I'm going to jump because I think it's a snake. I'm still fearful of rejection the same way as my fellow man or my fellow woman. I still, as much as I want to say that I don't seek approval and acceptance, there are times when it still shows up for me. And those things are very prevalent in today's society. And so when I think about it, like, what is business really? It's kind of like, if you were a business owner, that means you have a business. And to some degree, that means that you're a tribal leader and you have a tribe. And so what that essentially means is, in the days of old, why would anybody want to associate with a tribe? Well, because of two things. It either provided resources or it provided access to resources. And so if that happens to be the case, then by a person associating, I could say, yeah, I'm going to show you how to drive the spear into the belly of the beast. But all I'm going to ask for in return is that a portion of that meat makes it back onto my table. And I'm going to make sure that you're protected. I'm going to make sure that you can procreate. These are things that are important in society. And that is really what we do at the heart of business. It's saying, I want to partner with you. And I think when you come to that level where you go, this is like building a tribe with my clients, with my prospects, and then we have all these conversations that are going on, testimonials, let's say, that people are on the outside, they hear that, they go, these people are having fun over here. They got meat for days. They have access to all the resources. I want to surround myself with them. And I think when you come from that energy, and one of the most important things that I've come to realize in business is the energy. Especially when we're in saturated markets. If we think about coaching, business owners, entrepreneurs, the reality is it's a saturated market. We got to call it for what it is. And so how do you create a blue ocean and a red ocean? I've come to realize that in a completely saturated market, people will choose you based on your energy. That's the differentiating mark. And so if you can really do a lot to bring your energy into conversations, into connections, like, that's what people want to surround themselves with. They hope that, hey, if I can associate with this tribal leader, this tribe, they have a really good energy. They hope that, well, by virtue of that, a little part of that is going to rub off on me. I'm going to be better off. And I think when we build it from that place, it becomes a very beautiful protecting, connecting, collaborating, partnering type energy. And in that way, it shifts the mindset of the interaction between the prospect and the coach, or the prospect and the consultant or business owner.
I love that, Diego. I love that. I love it. Let me ask you this, Diego, because I know that there are some that struggles with rejection, especially in business or when we're talking about the cold prospecting campaign. So for those who have a difficulty dealing with rejection and literally allow it to shut them completely down, what words of wisdom or advice would you give them in overcoming that?
Yeah. Nobody's ever rejected you. All they've ever rejected is your approach. And I'm literally just filming a video on this that I'm putting in the Instagram. But there's 3 things that are essential to your approach. Number 1 is be able to test your approach. And if you come out from a testing mindset, you realize that you can always, number 2, change your approach. And then the third thing is don't get attached to your approach. And so your prospect exists in the virtual world in the same way that, let's say, a person that you wanted to speak to that's sitting in a cafe exists. So you want to walk up to that person, whether it be virtually or in the real world, and actually connect with them, actually care about them. If I walk up and my first interaction is, hey, come back to mine, that person has every right in their world to slap me. Right? But many people think that's the way when it comes to virtual worlds. They try to, get a prospect, put them in a sale. The reality is a lot of people are ready to buy. Their buying temperature has been pumped up, but they still need to be attracted. They still need to be connected before you could ever even seduce a sale.
I love the way you just broke that down so vividly. Because you just never really think about approaching sales like you do approaching a prospective relationship, right? Because as business owners, of course, we have our mindset on, okay, converting those into dollars, converting it into sales. But you're right. When somebody approach you off the street and they just invite you back to their place, that's a bit creepy. But we never make that correlation in the sense of business. So I greatly appreciate that perspective.
Yeah,
that's really good.
One of the biggest, I struggled in my business so much until the point I remember I was walking through a mall and I had worked so much on improving myself in terms of, my dating life, let's say, and my relationship life. And then I go, oh my God, what if business is relationships? And that moment, it changed my world. I was able to go out there and actually test things in social media, cold messaging people, cold emailing people. And then I said, oh my gosh, this is working. And all of a sudden my business started to, really flourish. And I said, let me, okay, I can do it, but what if can one of my clients do it? So I took some of my clients and said, hey, would you beta test this for me? They started getting booking calls left and right. And one of them, wild. I said, hey, I told my client, I said, I took a person that didn't see any of my content. They got on my sales call and within 10 days, they became a high ticket client. I said, can you do this? Try this out. I told her my process. She went, she did it. She goes, Diego, I beat you. 24 hours, less than 24 hours, a person that had never seen a single piece of her content turned into a high ticket client.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. Now, I know that you have 2 different programs, Diego. You have a program called the Accelerator, and then you have a script program. So tell them a little bit about your programs and what you offer.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do have something called that's Impact Accelerator, which is much more for those individuals that really want to become thought leaders. They want to put their message out to millions, and I can definitely assist in that process. I also have something that is basically much more tailor-made to the business owner. So this is part and parcel with the marketing company that we've just launched. So it's really if you want to take all your marketing, all your sales, outsource it, and just get leads generated, sales generated for you, so that way you can just focus on the product delivery. We have that option as well. At the same time, the thing that I've been really focusing on these days is what I'm talking about here, which is how do you turn a cold prospect into a paying client in 7 days or less? And so for that, I haven't yet updated the website, but for that, people can absolutely send me a message via Instagram, and and I'll see if it's a right fit for them.
Awesome. We're going to take one more quick break, and when we come back, we're going to drop all of your contact information, because I think that utilizing your programs is going to be extremely beneficial for those that are in the coaching, consulting realm, even just business owners and entrepreneurs, because at the end of the day, that's exactly what we are dealing with, is marketing and sales, right? So I definitely want to make sure that our viewers have a great understanding on how to get in contact with you. So hang on, you guys. We're not done yet. We have a little more with Diego. So we're going to take one more quick break, and we'll be right back.
Are you struggling with hair growth, and no matter what you do, your hair just won't grow? Then I introduce to you the K-Learnings Naturals Hair Growth Serum. This growth serum is a proprietary blend of natural oils and essential oils, and has proven results to jumpstart your hair growth process in as little as 30 days. Pair this hair growth serum with our Renew and Restore healing oil, and is guaranteed to treat any conditions such as eczema, psoriasis, ringworms, and more. Visit our website today for these great products and all of our natural hair care line at www.klearningsnaturals.com. Again, that's www.klearningsnaturals.com.
On this journey, I found myself on the road through personal pain and discovery. I found out that there were so many women and young girls who suffered just like me due to having a lack of information about our bodies. I knew then that it was up to me to help and share what I know. So I traveled on the road that has many ups and downs in order to empower and inform young girls that there is a better way. And I'm yet on this road again, which is very uncertain, but there are many bright moments along the way with inspiring the next young generation of ladies to take control of their bodies, health, and minds on this road. I find myself moved with compassion and empathy for the moms who just don't know. That's why I go to many places, near and far, to inspire, to educate, to empower the next generation of women and young girls to take complete control of our minds, our bodies, and our health.
We are back. We're back with Mr. Diego Cassina, our first King Corner guest on our show tonight. Diego, this has been an amazing opportunity just to be able to speak with you, and just you have imparted so much knowledge and nuggets onto our viewers tonight, and I just greatly appreciate you. You just have no idea.
Thank you so much, Kiva. To you and to all the kings and queens you have on your corner.
Thank you so much. When we met, we were actually introduced by Carol in Clubhouse. And for those of you with iPhones and Apple phones, if you are not on Clubhouse, you are missing an amazing platform just to be able to connect and get to know amazing individuals. But when we met, you had asked me a question about why do I use the terms kings and queens. Do you remember that?
I don't remember, but I love the word king and queen. So you were speaking my heart's language.
Yes. We spoke very briefly about that, and when you asked me that, I was like, you know what, nobody's really asked me that before. But my answer was because there's just so many people that really don't understand or appreciate their own worth. Like, we're not spoken to in the terms of royalty, sometimes never, and just being, addressed as, hey queen, hey, king. Like, for some people, it literally stops you in your track because you really don't see yourselves as such. So it's just really important for, me me especially, just being able to address our kings, our queens, even our prince and our princesses, just to speak into them and let them know that, you know what, despite what you've gone through, despite your background, despite any of that, we're still worthy. We're still worthy. Yeah.
It's funny. I live in Colombia, and here, if you go to the supermarket, at times they'll say, "Hola mi rey, hola mi reina," which is "Hello my king, hello my queen." So I heard that, I was like, "Ooh, I like that."
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, let's tell them how to get in contact with you, Diego. I know that if they are interested in being a part of your program, you did mention that they can log onto your website, correct?
Yeah. The website's diegocassina.com. So CASSINA.com. And if you head over there, you could also opt in for a little PDF I put together on how to get millions of views on your content, especially if you're a coach, but also powerful for entrepreneurs, real estate agents, business owners.
Love it. I love it. And they can also reach you on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
We have that down here too. Diego Cassina _official. All right. So you can definitely find him there. And if you are on Clubhouse, Diego features a room every Wednesday. Is it Wednesday mornings, right?
Yeah. Wednesday, like mid-afternoon. Well, at least in Central Standard Time. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I have had the privilege of being in the room, and I've been on stage a couple of times too. But their rooms, Diego's rooms, are just so open and so welcoming. And you guys literally just welcome pretty much anybody, and you feel like you have known each other for many years. That's just how welcoming the atmosphere is. So if you are on Clubhouse, I just encourage you to definitely connect with him. He is amazing. What you see is what you get. I mean, and he is just that warm and welcoming and down to earth. So if you're there, definitely check out their room and definitely connect.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kiever. And yeah, if anybody wants access to the room, send me a message on Instagram, and also send me the word Kiever. Send me Kiever's first name, and maybe I'll check out your Instagram and see what we could do to boost it up. I'm more happy to provide that for you guys.
I love it. I love it. Well, King, I'm going to allow you this opportunity to leave any final words with the viewers. Anything that you may want to share that we haven't touched on, or any word of advice. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I'd leave you with perhaps one or two hacks. One of the fastest ways in which you could grow your business, your any really opportunity that you have, is surround yourself with other people that are growing. Surround yourself with other people that are really taking their business and making it powerful. People that have different money mindsets, people that have different love mindsets. It will cause you to question your own. It will cause you to challenge your own. You'll be in fear. You'll be face to face your fear. But it is one of the greatest hacks to completely overcome years of training. And I think also the last one I'd say is, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of people that are trying to make their name known. They're trying to build authority online. And one of the greatest authority builders I think that you can have in today's day and age is just be you. Be yourself. Everybody else is taken. And when you come on in that way, when you divulge who you truly are, when you're that vulnerable, there is so much strength in that. And that's something that can build true trust. And that's the cornerstone of any sales, the cornerstone of any relationship building. So I'd say, go out there, be yourself, be imperfect. You give others opportunity to be the same.
I love it. Well said. Well said. Well, thank you so much for just joining us for our special King's Corner edition. This has been such a delight having you, and you're welcome here anytime. So anytime you want to come back, you just let me know, and I'm going to be checking in with you periodically too.
You got it, Kiever. Thank you so much, Queen. And thank you to everybody, all of you kings and queens that are out there.
Amazing. Thank you. Wow. I hope you guys have thoroughly enjoyed our show tonight. This has been an amazing segment. You will be seeing more of our kings being featured on King's Corner. I feel like it's very important. You know, we definitely bring on the queens and we love our queens, but sometimes you need to hear from the kings too, right? Because they have amazing things going on and they also bring a different perspective. So we will be featuring King's Corner definitely periodically. So we will definitely let you know when our next special edition King's Corner will be airing so that you can tag the kings that's in your life, especially the ones that are making a huge difference and those who just need a little more inspiration. That's what this segment is designed to do. And I hope that you found it to be beneficial in that way tonight. Tune in for tomorrow night. We have another special edition show tomorrow night. We will have Miss Tora White joining me tomorrow night, and we will be definitely talking about an event that she and I will be endeavoring together. So you don't want to miss tomorrow night's show. We will be discussing the power of you. That title alone is something powerful. So we're going to be diving into that tomorrow night. And Thursday night for our regular scheduled program, come right back, Keeper's Place, the Keeper Murdoch Show, where our guest would be April McCants Harrison, and we will be talking about queening effortlessly. So you don't want to miss our upcoming shows this week. We are jam-packed, and we're not done yet. We have a lot more yet to come. If you would like to support it, you can definitely visit us on anchor.fm/Keever's Place /support so that we can continue to bring you relevant content, wonderful guests, and information. So you can definitely support us there. And you can listen to our podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, all of the major podcasting platforms. And be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, this has been an awesome and amazing show. But until next time, let's continue to share, connect, and glow together because network builds net worth. So thank you again for watching, everybody, and you all have a blessed night. Good night.
Thank you for watching Keever's Place, the Keever Murdoch Show and Podcast. Tune in every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Keever's Place. To be a guest on our show, text the word guest to 803-368-3030 or visit us at tinyurl.com/Keever's Place Booking. And watch us on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire as we're broadcasting in more than 60 million homes worldwide.